Scott, anything else before we move to the fourth pillar?
On motivation, no, I mean, we could have probably stuck on that for a couple of questions, but I think I'm good.
I'm willing to take questions, right?
Execution.
So, execution. Now that you have your focus, some kind of heat map and the rest, you are now motivated. You know your products, your solutions, and your audible ready. Now it's time to actually do it. And first and foremost, there has to be expectations on pipeline. So when you execute, it's time for measurement. What are you doing with the pipeline? Where have your accounts moved forward? What new accounts have you gone into? And you spot check that with both measurements online. Everybody knows that everything is over measured, so you can find it out. But you also have to do four-legged calls. You've got to get out in the field. You've got to do calls with your team. So you cannot successfully lead a professional enterprise level B2B sales team from a desk. So you have to get out there and see how they execute. I will ask for the best thing and the worst thing that happened in the prior week. And I lean on the best thing. If somebody can't come up with one, if you haven't seen progression in 2 weeks, if the pipeline or the pipeline movement is stagnated, poor execution. So we're talking about knowing your KPIs, knowing what the expected measurements are, and clear communication. That all funnels down to an accurate forecast, not a gut feel, not a I should be able to. It's a you're going to get this number. So execution should be clear, focused, communicated, and measured.
And that's why you can't have execution without the first three.
Right.
Okay.
Now, do you like? I know from being internal, you used to see the sales reps waiting to go into the VP's office for a pipeline review, and they're sweating and hitting the calculator a little bit, seeing if they could fudge it one way or the other. Do you pick up on that, and how do you talk about integrity and things that you don't want to say that are negative? Do you pick up on that, and how do you overcome it? Like, how do you sit there and say, well, I think he might be fudging this or she might be fudging that?
Again, if you know your salesperson as a whole, okay, you can put what they say then into context. But can I tell when somebody hesitates? You bet.
Yeah.
I have, as you guys kindly mentioned at the beginning, I've been doing this for a few years, and watch a rep's eyes. If they're going to tell you how it's going to happen and they're looking down or they're writing notes because they're making sure they remember what they told you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And if that's in a public forum, you're going to want to drill into that on a private forum.
Right.
It's just, you have to know, but also it's going to come from experience. You can have somebody that sandbags as well. No, yep. I'm only going to do, 4, and they come in with 9. You still look dumb. So you're going to have to know the chemistry of your team, the chemistry of your people, also what your upline is looking for. So as a first line sales manager, aware of your brand uphill. They're watching, especially because you're a new, first line sales leader. They're watching. So you have to present an accurate picture of your business. It is your business above you. So you have to expect honesty that you can translate from your team to upper management to the company. But yes, I can tell.
The human lie detector?
Well, each person has different tells.
Well, yeah, we talked about that once or twice in an interview cycle. I said, you look into the man's eyes, you ask, or a woman's eyes, you ask them the question. If they stare right at you, it's one thing. If they look at your shoes, that's a different thing altogether.
Well,
Well,
you got a lot of
yeah,
movement too.
right.
You know,
And it's funny, I was talking about fudging, but then I forgot also about sandbagging,
yeah.
like, hey, it's November. I'll take the next couple of months off and put these in January. I didn't even think about that one too.
Oh, have you ever had the question of, do you know what the comp plans are going to be next year?
Yeah.
That's the tell.
Right?
That's the
Don't
tell.
worry about it. Close it now.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've talked a lot about the different pillars, right? We've talked how to prioritize each pillar, how you do that and effectively roll it out. We talked about how to apply them, how to implement them, the barriers sometimes to success, how to get buy-in, and how to gauge effectiveness from measurement and stuff like that. Uh, I mean, this is a world of knowledge, right? This is a lifetime of learning that you've amassed, which is great, and because you're always sharpening the saw, which is something I've always talked about too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of our subscribers, our viewers, want to know, like, what are you doing now? You got this amassed information, you're passionate about it, which is more than half the battle, right?
Right.
And now you've put it together in amalgam, type format. Tell us what you're doing now.
So it's interesting because I love the game and I'm a student of the game. So I recently had a friend of mine, CRO of a software company, asked me, would I help him train his first line sales leaders? So that kind of morphed into putting my thoughts and knowledge and tools, if you will, that I use into a system. And I have put that system together in a masterclass format, and I teach that. So my next class that I think I'm going to announce the dates on the 15th. I'll be rolling something out there. But I'm putting that 20 plus years worth of leadership training to help others. I mean, I remember that I got the job. All right. Right. Now what? Now the fears show up, right?
Right.
How do I build credibility with the team? How do I build credibility with management? The diverse team. What do I do with these guys? I've got a much bigger quota now, a much bigger, territory. Now what do I do? And again, no training at corporate is going to help. It's all generalized. So I want to help them do that. I'll go through each pillar. I got a final pillar of potholes to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about some holes that you should avoid that some of us have learned the hard way. So, but I offer that, and it's a training class through a coaching company that I'm working with.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So how if somebody's listening to this and they're like, I like what he has to say, how can people engage with you? How can they find out more about your class that you're putting together for these organizations and how they can be a part of it? What would you recommend for people to engage with you to further find out about all this information?
Reach out to me on LinkedIn. That's just the quickest and easiest way to do that. I can send information. I will probably end up giving away a module or two, just because I remember that situation so well. You typically hold that first line for a short time and have to move on and start applying your lessons to the second role. I'd like to alleviate that. I want to help these guys that have gotten into that situation. So reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm at Michael Biedermann, and you'll see that you can tag me there, and we can start a conversation at that point.